Hi, my name is Steve Snapp. Thank you for watching this video of Salesforce for Building Materials. In this episode, we're going to go through a deep dive of this first row of the dashboard. We have an overview video of the entire dashboard as well as an individual video of each one of these metrics. Our goal in doing a deep dive here was to really give you an understanding of what we're calculating with this particular metric. So this is kind of a nerdy little way to get into the details and talk about what how we calculate the math. Before we get started, I want to mention that we have two links in the video description you should know about. I'll mention these again at the end of the video if you'd like to keep watching, but I wanted you to know that we've included a link to our pricing video where we share the pricing for Salesforce Construction, and we've also included a link to our guided free trial. The guided free trial will allow you to start using Salesforce Construction immediately in your business while providing a step-by-step learning path. The first thing I want to say though about these three charts, these three charts being projects by type, project by specification percentage, and projects by award percentage, is that they're all rooted on the project object. Now I talk a lot about this in other videos, so I'll just briefly mention that the project record is kind of where we capture all of the details about the project. And the problem we were trying to solve with this project object is a way to consolidate all information into one place where you can capture all the details about the project, all the details about the people, the architects, the general contractors, the people within those firms that you're working with, so that you could develop not only a clear picture about this project, but a clear picture about your overall pipeline and where your risks are as it relates to specification. So that's the goal, or that's the problem that we're trying to solve. So now let's go through and talk about these. Now I'm going to go through and talk about the chart at a high level, and then I'll show you the drill down and the kinds of information that's associated with it. This first part is what we call projects by type. And the projects by type is pretty simple. It gives you a detailed overview of the projects that you're working on and what category are they in. Now these types that you see listed here, commercial, industrial, healthcare, these are our standard types or standard categories. Now you can modify these completely. Commercial may not apply to you. It might be something more like industrial manufacturing, industrial automotive, or whatever. The point is that the project types are absolutely configurable, and that's something that we do during the quick start process with you. So projects by type gives you an overview of what your pipeline includes based on where the project is coming from or what type it is. But in addition to that, we lay on top of that another layer that we call stage. So these stages also are configurable, but these are somewhat of the generic stages that we all kind of work on in the building material space. So I won't read through all of these, but it's conceptual design, it's design, bidding, etc. Now again, these are configurable, so if you guys don't think in terms of conceptual design, we can remove it, change it, whatever. But in this particular stage, you're seeing all of my projects by type, then I'm seeing the revenue dollars associated with those, and then I'm seeing what stages are they in. So for example, this shows me right now that I've got a lot of commercial that are in the awarded stage. And if I drill up here, I can see how many in commercial are in, how many of my commercial are in the budgeting stage, etc. And you can see the dollar amount there. So without even drilling down into the report, I can start to really get a good, clear story about what I've got in my project funnel. Now, I'm going to just quickly drill into this report so you can see the details. So the way you drill into a report is you click on this link here, and what we're going to see here is a much deeper dive into the projects by type, and then a detailed list of each of those projects organized by the various details associated with the project. So again, the point is to give you the ability to see a broad picture and then to go deep with the specific picture. Now, the next chart I want to talk about is projects by specification percentage, and then we'll talk about projects by award percentage. Now, this is a unique calculation that we use in our product. I don't know that I've seen a lot of other people do this, and it's very, very specific for building material manufacturers. And the idea is that you have specifiers and you have awarders. Now I'm going to talk specifiers first, but under the specifying category, what I really care about is which architects, in most cases, sometimes some of you watching this might have engineers specifying for you, but what architects or engineers are specifying my product. And so what this is showing me is my project funnel based on those architects that specify me 0% of the time, which is this bottom row, 25% of the time or more, or 75%. So 0 to 25 would be the 0 category, 25 to 50 would be this 25, and then the 75. Now, these categories can be completely tweaked for your business. The idea is that if someone is in the 75% category, that's an architect that is extremely friendly to you. They're specifying you 75% of the time. So I want you to think in terms of that. So if they don't specify me 25% of the time, or 50, 75, whatever, then that tells me something about them. So if I had a lot of my projects in the 0 category, I would consider that to be high risk. I don't have a strong relationship with those architects, don't have a lot of influence on them, there's a lot of exposure there. So the basic idea there is, as I work from left to right, the more projects I have in the higher category, the more stable or more solid my pipeline is. That's the basic message. Now, if we drill into that report, you'll see it kind of gives you details of that particular report, and it shows you how many projects are in that particular category. Now, this particular drill down isn't showing you the detail, but if I come down here in Salesforce and click detail rows and click that, it will then expand that chart and then allow me to see what specific projects and in what stages those are in. So I can suppress that if I want, keep it simple, or I can expand it and make it a little bit more in depth. The point there is that it gives you detail about where your projects are and how solid or how weak are your projections about that particular project. And then finally, we have the project by award percentage. So the award percentage is the same type of chart as the specification percentage. It just calculates that for a builder or a general contractor, whoever awards the project to you. So one of the problems we're trying to solve with this is that you get a project spec'd and then the GC either doesn't like you or wants to get a better price from a competitor, and they try to flip the spec on you. And so what we're trying to measure here is which builders are we really solid with, and it's the same idea. If a builder is if a project is in the zero category, that means that project has been awarded to a GC that has not awarded to us. So there's 2 levels of award here. The first award is to the GC or the builder, and then the percentage calculates how many of those projects did they award to us. So again, if I'm super solid on my specification, I got a lot of projects in 50% or greater, that means I'm working with a really tight group of architects that are really favorable to us. But if I've got a lot of projects that are being awarded to GCs that are in the 0 category, I've got some real risk, and I got to get on those GCs to push them into a higher category, or to at least make sure that I'm Johnny on the spot on all those projects. So, and the same idea again, if I drill into that report, it goes into much more detail about the specific projects and how they're categorized and who they're associated with, etc. Okay, so that's a quick overview of those top 3 charts in the dashboard. And while going through that, I hope you got a sense of how we were calculating those concepts around specification and award percentage. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me. I know your time is very limited. I've included 2 possible next steps in the video description. These include a link to our pricing video where we share the pricing for Salesforce Construction, and I've also included a link to our guided free trial. The guided free trial will allow you to start using Salesforce Construction immediately in your business while providing a step-by-step learning path. The guided free trial also introduces what we call the Guaranteed Quick Start, which is several pre-scheduled calls with our team to help make any light configuration changes like pick lists or reports, and also help you migrate any data that you want in your free trial. If you're not ready for those 2 choices, please spend some time here on our YouTube channel learning more about the specific problems we've solved for Salesforce Construction. Thank you again for some of your time, and we'll see you soon.